Tarisa vanorumba mako. I want to speak to somebody. Ukanzi right now wafanoenda kupi? Simple question. Mukadzi wako uyu wakajeza kuti unongomuka wagara pamba. Uchingoti no baby, I'll do everything for you. You don't even empower them. They don't even know how to create money. Ukafa. Vanoenda kupi? Very simple question. Right now, look at your life. Ungozvunganidza pakamba uchiti my apartment iwe mudhadhadha mani taura zvakanaka unoenda kupi? You see, we need to have these questions. Basa rekapera right now, unoenda kupi? Urukuenda kupi? You see, we don't want to think in terms of this line. Why? Because it makes us uncomfortable. But what will change our lives, my Judah, is to be able to be normal with abnormal conversations. The conversations that when we think about, we don't get peace. To begin to answer and ask yourself important questions about the direction that your life is going. Right now, my Judah.
Yeah.
An artificial life. Do you know it's so expensive to live an artificial life? And it's so cheap to be you. Yet many people, you want the expensive route, trying to please trying to do everything just because you want people to see you. Uri ku yende pi. Can I tell you one thing? I'm not...
They will share the story.
We should. I think God will allow me to meet you.
Yes, and today we're looking at the hashtag Urukuyendepi.
True.
Urukuyendepi.
Very important.
Where are you going?
Urukuyendepi. Urutomanya futhi. Urukuyenda kuphi.
Hanzi mai where zvatanga.
So, you see, my Judah, we've had conversations, several hashtags, but the goal is really to challenge people to sit down with themselves and get to a level where you get to have a conversation with your life and ask yourself, where are you going? Urukuyendepi. There's a statement which Solomon says, I think you know it. He says, where there is no vision, the people perish. That statement is very important, my Judah. Because where there is no vision, people will only be armed with televisions.
Ooh.
Where there is no vision, the only vision that many people are going to know is a television. And where there is no vision, my Judah, people will spend productive amounts of time on television. Because vision speaks volumes about where you are going. Where are you going? I want us to do quickly an exercise, my Judah, and everyone who is listening to us right now, and everyone who is watching us via Facebook, I want us to do this exercise. I want you to look at your life right now, how we are living your life, how we are doing your things right now, my Judah. I want to add 5 years to your life, doing the very things that you're doing. Where do you think you're going to end up? 10 years, just add 10 years to your life and the level of confusion in your life right now. I want you to add just 10 more years to your life. And I want you to answer a very important question. Where are you going? You see, these are the questions that we don't answer, but in life you can never be successful in the absence of an understanding of where you want your life to go. So one of the things that I do as part of my work, I get to help companies in terms of strategy. So if you're strategizing, if you're planning for an organization, the first question is, where are we? Number 2, where do we want to go? But you see, there are many people right now who are moving without answering the question, where are you going into life? I want to give you a typical example of many people's lives now. Right now, somebody is waking up every day, they're complaining, the economy is bad, the rate is high. The next thing, and they're saying the money is not enough, they're angry about it, yet they don't get fired. The next thing, they will do whatever they do until 5 o'clock, and they'll go back home and they'll say, I'm tired. And you know what? The next thing, they are going to engage in admin mode on WhatsApp, and they're going to catch up with every useless post on WhatsApp. And they'll sleep at past 12, 00:30 last scene. And they'll wake up every morning to say the economy is bad. I want to help you a bit. Do you know? Time is not going to stop just because you're not serious. And time is not going to stop simply because your things are not in order. That's why you might need to start learning to regulate time by defining and planning the type of life that you want. And time is not going to wait for inflation. Time is not going to wait for the rates to come down. In fact, what you need to do is simply to raise your level of seriousness. And it starts by this conversation. Uri ku ende pi. By the way, we're all broadcasting from very close to some place that I like so much called Mbari. Do you know if you go to Mbari terminus and ask Kutinruda Baz, they will ask you a very simple question, and you know it. What about she?
Ukundepi?
Urukuendepi. But when wakawanda right now warikukwira mabhazi avasikuziva kuti ari kuendepi, and guess what, they want to arrive. Right now many people were in relationships dzisina direction. Hausi kutomboziva kuti uri kuendepi, uri kunzi I miss you, I need you, you are my everything. Uri kuendepi.
Ukabvunza izvozvo pane imwe statement rokundimara mazano ndakatanga 2020 nestatement yanzi tichaona.
That's dangerous. You're not a prophet. Unoda kuona chii chausina kuona pawakandiona.
Hashtag pasi netichaona.
So, where are you going? You see, the problem here tonight, mind you, the problem that we have with many people is we don't get to have this time to actually seriously think about where we're going. And many people, the focus is only speed. That's why I wonder, when I forgot the solution is to accelerate. No. You can possibly be accelerating in the wrong direction. That's why you need to ask Urukwenda Kupi. Right now, mind you, there's somebody who's nearing retirement. They are broke. They have nothing. And they're not even asking themselves, Urukwenda Kupi. The next thing happens, I'm not in 3 years. Anyway, Zuruto Chikisa out of in 3 years. I'm not going to anything which is solid. Urukwenda Kupi ne life yako. Right now, mwana hana kana O level kana JC kana chi ari busy kutuka madegree nze yazvibhadhari tanga watora rako first then uzotora kuti ari bhadhari.
Yeah, it's true.
Kwenda kutaura kuti anzona achibhadhari iwe ngarisiyana nimwe yechikorokoza mani ndati chimbobata wabata uchitaura kuti ari bhadhari, but even a sense of direction. Uri kuenda kupi nelife yako. Right now, mind you, there's somebody right now listening to us. Ari kugumbeze. Right now, magetsi aenda wakabata phone, uri pa WhatsApp, uri kutaura nevanhu vari serious. Uri kutora vanhu vari serious time yako. Uri kuenda kupi?
I think panyaya yekutorera vanhu vari serious time yavo, we may as well just, pass by this avenue. Kana iwewe usina zvekuita. Don't come to my workplace and expect me to give you attention. More than 5 minutes of my time.
You're right.
Mira ndikudze nditombata pa lunch ukanoda kutombata anofanda kubata na 12 o'clock. Iwewe have the discipline to actually remove yourself from someone's work premise.
You're right.
Within 5 minutes. Ugara chipa for more than 5 minutes.
You're right. You know what? Can I help you?
Please.
You don't send a message, don't know. The first thing you want to do, don't know. I might as well help you perform.
My Tana, are you going to be happy about this? I'm so motivated by Arthur. I also work up to 4:30 and I'm up every day. I have increased my chickens from 50 to 350. From 50.
Arukwenda somewhere. Well, guys, don't Batsrane. Imagine I'm going to say something which is very offensive. Zimbabwe is the perfect country yokuita chirombe. Because une perfect excuse. Do you know what's the excuse? Economy. Unosvika pakuvigwa economy yakadai Nigeria. Kusvika muguva nevanhu vari kuviga for a fee. Iwe wakafa uchiti hakuna mari. Uchivigwa nevanhu vari kuita mari. Uri kuenda kupi neupenyu hwako? You see, imagine, these are the questions we need to ask. Iwe, unongojoina maclub evanhu vari kungodhakwa, but the next thing, pauri sober, hamuna chamuri kutaura chine musoro. Uri kuenda kupi? You see, these are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Where are we going? That's why I'm always asking people a very simple question. With what you're doing, at the pace you're doing it, where are you going to be by the end of 2020? Unosvika kupi? But you see, challenge yedu, atina time yokubvunza makwestions akadai. I think it's a very simple question. Very simple question. Uri kumuka, uri kugeza, uri kusileya, uri kuenda kupi? Where are you going? These are the very important questions because you see, a number of times most people don't have direction. They spend valuable energy, valuable time trying to attract the attention of people who don't care. Where are you going?
Come
on. I want to speak to somebody. Right now, simple question. Baby, I'll do everything for you. You don't even empower them. They don't even know how to create money. Very simple question. Right now, look at your life. My apartment. You see, we need to have these questions. Right now, you see, we don't want to think in terms of this line. Why? Because it makes us uncomfortable. But what will change our lives, my Judah, is to be able to be normal with abnormal conversations. The conversations that when we think about, we don't get peace, to begin to answer and ask yourself important questions about the direction that your life is going. Right now, my Judah.
Yeah.
Tine vanhu vari kurarama an artificial life. Uri kuenda kupi zvakadaro. Do you know it's so expensive to live an artificial life? And it's so cheap to be you. Yet many people, you want the expensive route, trying to please vanhu vasina basa newe, trying to do everything just because you want people to see you. Uri kuendepi. Can I tell you one thing? I'm not impressed in the models no post up status for WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook. I don't care. I don't care what you drive until I know Ruenda Kupi. And I even said, I don't care what you drive until I know what is driving you. Because what is driving you is more important than what you drive. Where are we going? Right now, kuna one who married my Judah. I'm skuta ramezi. Makamudu kiran. Muriku endepi. Urutu kaona mkazi wakota unguru kuona sister yako manje. Kaona mruma kuona brother. Uriku endepi. Are you hearing this? Where are you going? That's why there's a very important statement. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Where are you going? Right now, kuna mungu right now, akungomunga kwenda kubasa, hana kana idea, kana sense of direction, kana sense of purpose. Ari kungomuka, otogeza, oisa perfume inodura, ndati urukwendepi.
Can I just also just put this out there? When you ask this question, urukwendepi, this is a loaded question where you ukutobvunza nyaya yejeni yomunhu anditi kuti pajeni yako maybe wasangana nemunhu anenge asvika pit stop.
You're right.
Yeah. Shall we judge that person harshly?
Can I tell you
Maybe they've been working for 15 years and they've decided, you know what, but for now, let me just stop, let me check my tires, let me fuel up, let me clean what I need to clean, let me remove things that I need to remove, add things that I need to add, and then just win. So sometimes also, unogona kusangana nemunhu apa pit stop. How then shall we know that this is a person who has taken a recess compared to someone who is actually
because you actually know
100 k's an hour?
Remember, we said what's driving you is more important than what's driving. What you're driving. Good.
Yeah.
So when you enter pit stop, you actually know, because I'm stopping because I need to refuel. Meaning, if you don't have time to refuel, I'll not stand on the moon. I don't go to you still need to fuel up. So I respect them because they know where they are going. And in life, you need my pit stops. And I'm going to share the model, what I call the stop model. Then I'll show you why it's important to actually get to stop once in a while. But mind you, life's progress is never measured in terms of speed. It's measured in terms of direction. Do you know right now, Kunevanu, who lost everything trying to impress people, trying to exaggerate the concept of development because they thought if they're driving a very expensive vehicle, that is success. That's not success. My Judah, Buddha one room in a peace of mind. Then Buddha mansion on the offer. So we need to have these conversations. That's why I started with the conversation in Solomon. Where there is no vision, people perish. But where there is vision, my Judah, people flourish.
I love that.
Where there is vision, people flourish. But the original rendering of this verse, it says, where there is no vision, people are cast off restraint. Where there is no vision, people lack self-discipline. That's what it means. So if you don't have vision, it means unongwenda chero. And another translation says, where there is no vision, people run wild. So in town, we're busy trying to understand why people are doing wild things. The answer is simple. It's a manifestation of an absence of vision. Because vision gives you direction. Once you've got a vision, you know where you want to go. You see where you want to go. And you also understand that's not going to happen like that. That's why we need to understand this question. Uri ku yende pi. Matara yemuna uri ku. Those reasons are going right now. I'm going 200 kilometers an hour going nowhere. And we're going nowhere so fast. That's the tragedy. So, where are you going? This is what Moses says in Psalms chapter 9 to verse 12. When I want to turn the Psalms did every day, no, that's not true. This is what Moses says. He says, teach us to number our days. so that we may gain a heart of wisdom. So why is Moses saying, teach us to number our days? Because Moses ane team yabva Egypt. So vabuda Egypt, but Egypt aisati yabuda mavari. So they are still operating with an Egypt mindset. So the people is trying to liberate. They are not yet liberated in the mind. And guess what? Because they don't have an understanding of the vision of what God wants to do with these people. Because they don't understand it. Every time they're fighting, every time they're threatening to go back, every time they're like, no, dude, we had better graves in Egypt. Why don't we go back? But you guys were already seeing him. How? How? And the answer is simple. That's why even when the 12 spies were sent, they're like, I'm grapes, but we were like grasshoppers. Why? Because they didn't understand the Uruku and the question. Because God does not just take you from one place so that He can just leave you midway. He has to complete. That's why you need to have an understanding of Uruku and the P. This is a question we need to ask. Many people are not even asking. And the bulk of the times,
available on all social media platforms. Like and follow for more inspirational content.